in Mandeville and Williamsville, and buy my things at Better Taste Bakery, my dear.
So what them have?
For all your Christmas breads, buns, bullas, jackas, can, and other baked stuff, come visit us today and make your special purchase at our Williamsfield location as well as at Shop 5 Caledonia Plaza in Mandeville.
We're opened Mondays to Saturdays for your shopping pleasure.
Call us for your special order at telephone number 876-624-0555 and 876-961-0575.
Better Taste Bakery for all your baking needs for the entire.
Hi there, I'm Leon Nash, CEO of NRPMediaJA.com, and you are listening to NRPMediaJA.com. This is NRP Radio. We do apologize for that break in transmission. There it's now 6:33. It's now time for us to present to you the NRP break of day newscast for today. It's Monday, January 22. And of course, we are here with you on set. It's a wonderful day. And as we said, this is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to you joining us for the rest of the newscast right here on this program. Remember that every morning at 6:30, we do have the newscast for you. And every evening at 6:30, that's Monday through to Friday, we have the newscast for you. So let's just dive now into the news right here on NRP Radio, where we reach you where you are. There are no boundaries and no limitations whatsoever. Good morning and welcome to our platforms, NRPMediaJA.com, also Facebook and YouTube, NRPMediaJA. It's Monday, January 22, 2024. I am Leon Nash with the NRP break of a newscast. Here, government is actively considering removing the guarantor requirement for Students' Loan Bureau SLB applicants. St. Thomas farmers who suffered loss or damage from recent heavy rains are receiving essential inputs. 3 firearms and several rounds of ammunition seized by the police in St. Catherine. Superintendent of Police for Clarendon appeals to citizens to work closely with them for 2024. And in sport, India batter Virat Kohli has withdrawn from the first 2 tests against England for personal reasons. The news today is brought to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. Celebrating 3 years since our inception, the NRP brand of radio and other songs on NRP Media JA is your newest online platform accessible for the promotion of your church and community activities, along with news and sports related information. It's the platform you have been longing for. So call us today at 876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com.
NRP Media and Radio,
reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
And now the news in detail. The government is actively considering removing the guarantor requirements for Students' Loan Bureau SLB applicants. This was disclosed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness while responding to a question posed regarding higher education during a rap session with students at the Guys Hill High School in St. Catherine recently. According to the Prime Minister, previously the SLB required two guarantors. However, this was changed by the current government. Mr. Holness added that effective April 1, 2021, students applying for an SLB loan now only require one guarantor instead of two. And additionally, since September 2023, the Program of Advancement through Health and Education Path beneficiaries applying to the SLB do not need a guarantor to support their submissions. The Prime Minister says the no guarantor policy also applies to wards of the state, and the Prime Minister also indicated that various grants are available for students. If qualified on the path, each student whose family is on path, then the Prime Minister said they should receive or get fairly substantial grants to go to a tertiary institution. And the Prime Minister informed that if a student from an underserved community, a student who is in a vulnerable position, then there are other grants for which they too are eligible. The St. Thomas farmers who suffered loss or damage from recent heavy rains are receiving essential inputs and supplies through the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA Parish Office. Acting Parish Manager Erard Stevenson said that in recent weeks, the entity has distributed more than 589 bags of Irish potato seedlings to farmers in all 6 extension areas. In addition, Stevenson added that the agency has distributed over 400 bags of fertilizer and has provided $1.5 million in support to poultry farmers. In addition, Mr. Stevenson informed that more than 100 farmers have signed up for RADA's land preparation subsidy, through which they receive assistance to get their land ready. Meanwhile, Mr. Stevenson said that onion production is in full swing, with 284 farmers receiving support for replanting. He noted that RADA is assisting with the marketing of the crop and the funds, but reported that funds have also been used to provide repair farm roads in parish. You're tuned to NRP Radio. The time is now 6:39, and this is your NRP Break of Day newscast. 3 firearms and several rounds of ammunition were seized by the police after a Toyota Probox motor car was searched in Old Harbour, St. Catherine yesterday. 5 persons were arrested in relation to the seizure. Reports from the Old Harbour Police are that about 10 a.m., that should be 1 a.m., lawmen acting on information intercepted the motor car along the Old Harbour Main Road in the parish. On their approach, one man was seen running from the vehicle. 1 female and 4 males were accosted and searched along with the vehicle. 1 Taurus 9mm and that should be 9mm a magazine containing 15 rounds, 1 Taurus Millennium 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 11 rounds, and 1 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 8 rounds of ammunition were found at the back of the motor car. All 5 persons were arrested. However, their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. The National Works Agency, along with the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the TGE Consulting Limited, will be implementing traffic changes on a number of roads in the corporate area to facilitate an international premiere movie event tomorrow at the Carib Theatre. The following changes should be noted from 12 noon to 12 midnight. Closure of a Slipe Road, regular traffic between Halfway Tree Road. Old Harbour Road will be converted to a one-way northbound between Halfway Tree Road and Caledonia Avenue. Studio One Boulevard will be converted to one-way northbound between Lyndhurst Road and Retirement Road. Retirement Road will be converted to one bound between the Studio One Boulevard and Halfway Tree Road. Retirement Road will be converted to one-way westbound between the Studio Boulevard and Retirement Crescent. Studio Boulevard will be closed between Slipe Pen Road and Slipe Road. Admiral Pen Road will be closed between Slipe Pen Road and Slipe Road. And Marasco Road will be converted to one-way southbound between Caledonia Crescent and Heroes Circle. Taxis normally parking along Caledonia Crescent and Slipe Road will be relocated to the former Kingburger, or that should be the former Kingburger lands. Coasters normally parked along Lewis Crescent will be relocated to park along Caledonia Crescent. JUTC buses will be allowed to travel as normal along Slipe Road during the hours of the closure. Parking of patrons will take place within National Heroes Circle, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force will be providing officers to man all control points. The police say that Carib Theatre will be closed to regular patrons during the period of the closure. The public is hereby advised to comply with the instructions given by the officers of the JCF manning the affected intersections and road closure points. And 26-year-old Stephen Blake, otherwise called Braff, a laborer of Macquarie District, Hopewell, Hanover, was slapped with several charges following an incident in Brissett District, Lucy, in the parish yesterday. That should be in the parish on Sunday, October 29, 2023. I beg your pardon. Blake was charged with wounding with intent, shooting with intent, unauthorized possession of a prohibited weapon, possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Reports from the Lucy police are that about 9:05 p.m., a man was driving his motor car along the roadway when a Waxio drove up and the man opened gunfire at him. When the shooting subsided, the man was seen suffering from gunshot wounds. He was assisted to the hospital where he was treated. On Friday, January 19, Blake was arrested and subsequently charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Superintendent of Police for Clarendon, Carlos Russell, is appealing to citizens to work closely with them for 2024. The call follows at least 2 incidents of shooting in the parish, in addition to the discovery and seizure of some 13 guns last week. Mr. Russell says the citizens are pivotal to solving crimes and as such should work even closer with the police to keep them safe.
Just want to encourage them to continue working with us, report suspicious activities, suspicious men in community, and we want them to help us to find the guns and to remove the gangsters from their communities. So we just want to encourage that.
And Mr. Russell assured the residents of Clarendon that despite recent happenings where police officers from Clarendon were arrested and charged for various breaches, he said residents have nothing to fear, as most officers are law-abiding persons.
It can be assured the police that we have good law-abiding officers who are out there to keep them safe. So we want them to do all they can to work with us and assist us in removing the criminals from their spaces.
That was Superintendent of Police in charge of the Clarendon Division, Carlos Russell. You are listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com. Reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. And now let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Appliance is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To our shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass, quality service is our priority.
Thank you for keeping it locked right here on your special station online. NRP rate. Time for our sports stories on football. We kick off. Mohamed Salah will return to Liverpool for treatment on the leg injury he suffered at the Africa Cup of Nations, but Egypt are hopeful he can come back for a potential semi-final. Salah was injured in Egypt's 2-2 Ghana on Thursday in Group B. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp on Sunday said, before Egypt confirmed the forward's return, that, quote, it makes sense that he's doing the rehab with us. Egypt face Cape Verde today and will reach the knockouts with a win. The Egyptian Football Association had initially said on Friday that Liverpool forward Salah would only feature in the tournament nation advanced to a quarterfinal on 2 or 3 on the 2nd or 3rd of February. Asked if the 31-year-old go back to AFCON should his country progress, Klopp added, quote, I would say if he qualifies for the final, if he's fit for this, let's apologize for that interruption there. Let me get that going one time. Asked if the 31-year-old would go back to AFCON should his country progress. Klopp added, I would say if Egypt qualifies for the final, if he's fit before the final, then probably yes. Klopp had suggested on Friday that Salah's hamstring problem was likely to be severe, given the forward had missed out just 10 league games in more than 6 seasons. New Zealand's Lydia knockout, that should be New Zealand's Lydia KO, hit a final round of 70 to win the LPGA's tournament by 2 shots. The 26-year-old's finish, which included 4 birdies and 2 bogeys, saw her claim victory on 14 under par. This is on golf. 19-year-old American Alex Pano also hit 70 on the final day on 12 under in Orlando. KO, who won a 20th career LPGA title, said, quote, I tried to work hard in the 2 weeks leading up to this event, unquote. And she added, there were definitely nerves, but a little less just because it is my home course. To see so many members come out and clap and cheer me on was the best part of this week, KO added. Finally, on cricket, India batter Virat Kohli has withdrawn for the first 2 tests against England for personal reasons. The 35-year-old former captain has told India skipper Rohit Sharma and the side's management that certain personal situations demand his presence and undivided attention. The 5-test series begin in Hyderabad on Thursday. Kohli's withdrawal comes one day after England batter Harry Brooker returned to the UK for personal reasons. Kohli, who has played 113 tests for India, is 4th on their list of all-time leading run scorers with 8,848. He has not missed a test for India for more than when he was ruled out of the match against South Africa in Johannesburg with a back spasm. That's sports in the NRP Break of Day newscast, brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica. Promise to bring you a good news often as we can. If you know of any event or person whose good story we should highlight here in NRP Radio, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 876-336-9928. That's 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sports. Stand by now for the latest international news, courtesy of the Voice of America, the VR international partner. Let's go to them this time and give you the latest on the international scene.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. With the backdrop of the Israel-Hamas war, a combination of regional attacks and controversial statements over the weekend have already stirred the already tense environment in the Middle East. VOA's Veronica Daris Iglesias explains.
Shows reporting more than 25,000 people killed so far in the Israel-Hamas war. The United States isn't easing its pressure on Israel to protect civilians and to allow additional humanitarian assistance to be delivered. Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner.
They've announced in recent days that they're going to allow flour to be delivered to an Israeli port in Ashdod and then brought into Gaza. These are small but consequential steps, but they're also not enough.
Amidst food shortages, volunteers have been distributing bread to displaced Palestinians in Rafah. Veronica Valderas Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.
Families of hostages and their supporters called on the Israeli government to rescue and secure their release during a protest on Sunday outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's residence in Jerusalem. VOA's Rick Pantaleo.
Amid reports of a possible renewed hostage deal push by Qatar and Egypt, families of Hamas hostages, together with families of murdered hostages, gathered to demand the immediate return of their loved ones. This is John Boland, father of Israeli hostage in Gaza, Hirsch Goldberg Boland.
I'm here tonight because my son is one of 136 hostages still being held somewhere in Gaza. And it's been 107 days, and I'm here to make noise to say we need to bring these hostages home now.
More than 100 of the hostages seized by Hamas on October 3 during a short-lived November truce. Israel says 132 remain in Gaza, 27 of whom have been killed in captivity. Rick Pantaleo, VOA News.
And this is VOA News.
Thank you there to the latest from the VOA as we present the international news right here inside NRP Break of Day newscast. Now stand by for the weather report and forecast happening right here on NRP Radio inside the NRP Break of Day newscast. Let's go. Welcome once again, and now for the weather report and forecast. The National Meteorological Service of Jamaica has indicated that there is a significant feature of a stationary front northwest of Jamaica. Additionally, a low-level jet stream across the Central Caribbean is also prevalent in the environment. The stationary front is expected to remain north of Jamaica and dissipate. The low-level jet stream is expected to remain for the next several days. In the 24-hour forecast this morning, isolated showers across north central and eastern parishes, partly cloudy elsewhere, windy especially across northern parishes. This afternoon, expect mostly cloudy conditions with showers across northern and southeastern parishes, partly cloudy elsewhere, windy especially across northern parishes. Tonight, isolated showers across northern parishes, partly cloudy elsewhere, and windy along the coastal areas. The National Met Service also says that in the 3-day forecast starting tomorrow, on Tuesday through to Tuesday, expect morning showers across northern parishes, partly cloudy afternoon conditions and windy as well. On Wednesday, it will be mainly sunny and windy throughout the day. On Thursday, expect partly cloudy conditions with possible isolated showers across hilly areas, and definitely it will be windy in some parts of the island. Other current regional weather features at this time, there is a high pressure ridge across the Gulf of Mexico. The maximum temperature expected for Kingston and Montego Bay today. For Kingston, 31 degrees Celsius. For Montego Bay, 31 degrees Celsius. That is the latest weather report and forecast in our NRP Break of Day newscast. And with that, we've come to the end of our news presentation for this morning. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. Government actively considering removing the guarantor requirements for Student Loan Bureau SLB applicants. St. Thomas farmers who suffered loss or damage from recent heavy rains are receiving essential inputs. 3 firearms and several rounds of ammunition seized by the police in St. Catherine. Superintendent of Police for Clarendon appeals to citizens to work closely with them for 2024. India batter Virat Kohli has withdrawn from the first 2 tests against England for personal reasons. The full half-an-hour package on news today came to you NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. Here is your invitation to join us again this evening at 6:30 for the NRP Evening News Roundup. On behalf of the news and production teams, I am Leon Nash for NRP News. We encourage you to join this growing medium. Feel fulfilled and informed. Have a good rest of your morning and look forward to seeing you later on today for the news at 6:30 p.m. All right, and so it's now 2 minutes going up to the hour, make that a minute and a half going up to the hour of 7 o'clock. On top of the hour, we do have the program Let the Word Speak. Please stay tuned for that, coming your way momentarily. Hi there, I'm Leon.